Hello, welcome once again to my channel. In my channel, I discuss my journey of widowhood, and the channel is called Serenity and Strength. I also include my wellness journey, which was part of the widowhood journey. In this particular recording, I will be discussing the last lot of things around my late son's funeral because they did have some impact on the funeral of my husband. My name is Joyce Onyango, and I do request that if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. If you are a subscriber, I would just like to say thank you very much. Kindly also share, like, and do also give your comments. And do remember that subscribing does not cost you anything. All it does is ensure that when new videos are posted, you are kept up to date. Despite whatever ordeal you may have gone through, where there may be some accusations which may have been made, or some disagreements that may have happened, you'll find that you'll still need to have some relationships with the people who may have come up with those negative things against you. So you need to pray over it. You need to find a way to forgive. And as far as possible, you still need to support them, because a lot of times you find that you still need to give them financial support. You still need to give them at times even moral support, and support in very many different ways. And you didn't need to have that relationship. So you leave everything to God and try as much as possible to be there when you are required. But you be there in such a way that you don't allow yourself to, or you don't actually expose yourself to being hurt or being put down. And that is where it is important that your boundaries are very well defined. When you got back to Eldoret, because we had not yet had a chance to go to the hospital and get the results for the postmortem, what they explained to us that it was likely cot death, and this is where a child who was born premature, and Jim was born premature, sleeps and doesn't actually wake up. Because they said that when they're born premature, you'd find that their breathing system has not matured the way it ought to. I don't know if it still happens these days, but what I do know is that they would give them a number of different medication. They give you a lot of injections when you're likely to have the child prematurely, which I did get. But still, they say at times you find that it doesn't work as well as it ought to, at least in those days. I've not heard about it so much these days, so maybe it's not the same anymore. But anyway, that system was not fully developed, so you'd find that the system for breathing would switch off and then it doesn't switch back on. So that is what they said must have happened with him. And so when my husband went back, there was a cot death support group where he was. He joined the group and used to send me information, literature on some of those things, some of the risks, some of the things you need to look out for. So I used to read those, and then when I actually went and visited, I also got more information, and I actually went to Scotland myself. So I got more information from there. After that, we didn't get another premature baby. All the babies were full term. So the chances of such a thing happening again were actually minimal. With that experience though, being wrongly or falsely accused as I was would cause a woman a lot of emotions, negative emotions, and also can wound your self-esteem, because it's something that would really, really put you down. because you find that even the way you're being treated is very negative, and yet you've not actually done anything. But socially, everybody's looking down on you. You're sort of like secluded, particularly like in that environment where I was, where all around you're having all that negativity, and everybody apparently knew what they're talking about or knew what they were saying. Then you find that also it can put a very big strain on your marital harmony. It can even destroy your marriage if you don't actually tackle it properly. So it's something which needs to be tackled. You need to have your parents or relatives there as well to handle it with the other party. And spiritually also, you can find yourself feeling really down. But one thing is that throughout such things, I always find that the prayers help so much. Prayers help so much, and knowing that God knows who you are. He knows what you've done and what you have not done. Know that whatever you have been told or whatever you've been accused of, it is because of the kind of environment or background that they have been brought up in or they live in. It is not your environment. So don't let it affect you so negatively. Just know that that is their own problem. Do not let your beliefs be compromised at all. And just know that God loves you as you are, and God knows what you did and what you didn't do. So don't allow that to bring you down. In fact, when this thing happened, it I think it reminded me and triggered a memory of what had happened when I had just visited the home. Because at that point in time, I remember a case of a child who was taking porridge from a bottle, porridge mixed with milk from a bottle. And a lot of the times the child was still sitting, I think sitting. And a lot of the times they would just leave the bottle with the child to take on their own. So they would suck and suck a lot of air as well. So they kept on having a lot of wind in the stomach and being very uncomfortable. And they were not even being burped. So at some point in time, I recall now when they were saying that this child is like that because somebody has looked at them with bad eyes, and they actually took some string and tied it around the waist of the child. And that string was going to ward off the evil that was causing this problem. When I looked at what was happening, I realized, no, this is just wind. So I took it upon myself to ensure that at least when the child is feeding, I would, hold the bottle up so it is held in a proper way and the child doesn't suck wind, and also make sure that the child is burped. So bit by bit, that wind problem actually went. And then you'd find that as you're trying to educate them on such things, the particular mother of the child was not very positive about it. So those are things which I think need a lot of patience, also need a lot of external, um, external, what should I say, interventions, need external interventions. And that's why you actually need in some of those things to have some kind of education done. So there are those kinds of things, and it's really something which is very difficult to deal with because you find that the deep rooted in their superstitions, it's very difficult to get it out of them. They will not even grasp the gravity of what they're claiming. So it's important that for you who knows you know yourself and what you believe in, what you know is right, what you know you've done, what you've not done, you need to also set your boundaries. And that's why I set my boundaries. You have to find ways of not allowing yourself to be taken through such. So it's important that you as a couple, you talk and agree between you and you know what is what. in your marriage as it is. You don't allow yourself to go to that level or whatever they think to become your norm, especially if you have your Christian beliefs. I had my Christian beliefs, I had my Catholic beliefs, and I told them, you know what? These are my beliefs as a Christian, as a Catholic. That's what I'll do. But if you want to have different beliefs, then to me, you have your beliefs, but I'm not going to follow them. I'm following what I actually know. So those are, things that you just have to discuss and know how you're going to go about them. You also need to have emotional support, because with me, my husband went back almost immediately after that. I took time to visit my parents, and I got a lot of emotional support there. And at least that helped me to uplift me and take me back to the level where I needed to be at. I was able to spend time with them and have the love and care that I anticipated I needed to have. So always, as I said, have that clear communication. Have the clear communication with your spouse. Have your emotional support from those who can give you emotional support, and that emotional support also needs you to have love. Then just ground yourself in your self-worth and truth. You know that you are worthy. You know the truth. God knows that truth as well. He also knows that you're worthy. And through all that, you'll find that you'll be able to gain your peace and your dignity. I would love to hear comments of anybody who may have gone through similar situations, or, because I think when you discuss and you share, it makes a lot of difference. I will go on to talk a bit about different types of ways in which you can increase your water intake.
This time round I'm covering cinnamon and pineapple infusion. I measured the pineapple chunks in half a cup. They were tightly packed and it is fresh pineapple. Then I also used 3 sticks of cinnamon. All these I placed in a liter of water, which is room temperature, and I let it sit for about 4 hours. Once the 4 hours are over, you'll find that the drink will be ready, and it will be light yellow in color. If you want a stronger taste, you can increase the quantities of pineapple and cinnamon up to the level that you find is suitable for you. And when you want to drink it, you just strain the drink into whatever cup you're going to use or container, and you can actually decide to use it cold by putting it in the fridge and letting it cool a bit, or you can warm it up a bit. If you want to, you could even add a little bit of ginger for an extra kick, and that will actually give you more benefits. You'll find that this will help you with digestion, particularly with the pineapple, and the cinnamon will help your gut. You will also have a boost of your immune system, since both are rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. Do like, share and subscribe, and let me know what worked for you in terms of the quantities. Enjoy. I'll see you in the next. Bye.